The Romans made life difficult for the Jews in Europe and Syria after they converted to Christianity. They were persecuted, oppressed, humiliated, and killed. In order to save their lives and escape from China, the Jews would turn to the areas where Muslims ruled. After the Romans accepted Christianity, the Jews were expelled from Jerusalem and their places of worship were destroyed. After the conquest of Beit al-Maqdis during the Caliphate of Hazrat Umar, Jews were allowed to come and go in the city. After the conquest of Beit al-Maqdis in 15 Hijri, 637 AD, Hazrat Umar bin al-Khattab, R.A., allowed Jews to visit Beit al-Maqdis, whereas before that Christians had banned them. Christians, because of extreme hatred of Jews, covered this rock, on which the Dome of Rock is built, with garbage. Because the Jews consider it sacred. From the top of this rock, Amir al-Mu'minin Umar, R.A., cleaned the garbage with his own hands. According to the Muslims, its importance is that on the night of the ascension of the Messenger of Allah, may Allah bless him and grant him peace, the light from this rock blew up into the heavens. Then whenever Christians occupied Jerusalem after the Crusades, they massacred Muslims and Jews. After Sultan Salah al-Din Ayyubi's conquest of Beit al-Maqdis and for a long period later during the Ottoman Empire, the Jews remained few in number, but the Christians survived a life of persecution and humiliation. In the 19th century in Europe and Russia, intense hatred and persecution of Jews against Jews re-emerged among Christians. In these circumstances, the Jews were fed up with the oppression of the Christians and migrated. Millions of Jews were displaced from Germany, Eastern Europe and Russia. A large number of them came to America, Britain and some to Palestine. During this period, the movement of Zionism was born. The aim of this movement was to establish their own country for the Jews, and for this they chose Palestine. This movement gained strength in Europe, America and Palestine, and Jews started settling in Palestine in large numbers and started buying land here. This was the last period of the Ottoman Empire. In the First World War, 1914 to 1918, the Ottoman Empire sided with Germany, and when Germany lost, Great Britain scattered the Shiraz of the Ottoman Empire in different regions came under the control of different European powers. Britain occupied Palestine. In 1917, the British Foreign Minister made a declaration, which is called the Balfour Declaration. It stated that Britain would help establish an independent Jewish state in Palestine. Britain helped them to settle and organize there. When the Arab Muslims of Palestine started to have a strong reaction against the Jews and there were serious clashes between the two, Britain decided to leave Palestine and asked the United Nations to decide on the future of the area. The United Nations decided in 1947 that Palestine should be divided into two states. In the western region, where the majority of Jews lived, the Jewish state of Israel should be established, and in the eastern region, the Palestinian Arab Muslim state would be established, while Jerusalem remained under the control of the United Nations. The Jews accepted this formula, while the Palestinian Muslims and the Arab countries rejected the establishment of a Jewish state in their midst. When the Jews announced the establishment of Israel on May 14, 1948, wars broke out between Israel and the Arab countries. These wars continued till 1967. At the beginning of the war, Israel captured West Jerusalem and some other areas of Palestine. Egypt, Syria, Lebanon and Jordan occupied various areas of the rest of Palestine. The eastern part of Jerusalem, containing the holy sites including the Haram Sharif and the Al-Aqsa Mosque, was under Jordanian control. This situation continued till 1967. At the end of the 1967 Arab-Israeli War, Israel occupied all of Palestine. For the first time in history, the holy places came under the control of the Jews.